Hello, today we're going to draw Constantine with his throne. Constantine was the emperor who made everybody Christian. And this is the throne. This is where he sits. You can draw a little pillow there for him to sit on because it looks pretty hard. I'm going to draw him right here. Remember to draw the face as an oval. Then we have the triangle for the shoulders to the waist. And then a box again for the waist to the top of the hip. Then we have our Tootsie Roll shapes here for the legs. Let's try and get them a little more even there. Just sketch them in though, don't draw them real hard. Always draw like you're working on a delicate little butterfly or something. And then the Tootsie Roll shape from the knee to the ankle, those are going to be the same length as from the shoulder to the waist. So that's proportion. Again, we will have 1 foot sideways and as a triangle and an equal-sided triangle that's facing you. We have the arms that are Tootsie Roll shapes that come to the waist. Your elbow comes to your waist. And then from the elbow to the top of the leg is where your arm goes, from your elbow to your wrist. And he's going to be holding a scroll. And so we make the letter C, but we make it kind of chunky like this, and you can have one finger up so that you can tell it's a hand. And he's got a scroll in here that kind of looks to us like a rolling pin. And his other hand, he's going to again have a C, but this time he has the hilt of a dagger in it. Right here. You can't really see the underlying fingers. Now, this is a different Constantine than the guy who made the triumphal arch. Time has passed. He sees the writing on the wall that the empire is in trouble. He's an older man now, so his toga comes all the way down to here. And you're going to erase then the legs. You only had them in there to give the idea of proportion. It's not so much about swords anymore. He's more about laws and things like that. We're going to give him a pin to hold his cape on. Excuse me. Sorry. And it goes long. Remember that these, it was like they brought their blankets with them. I mean, I've seen kids come into school with their blankets on. And then he has a wide belt that you can just barely see the leather part. I'll color it in so you can see that part. And we're going to give him a kind of a wide neck because he's still a very physically fit man. The sleeves would come down to about here on each side like a t-shirt. So if you think of this as a long t-shirt, I think that works. And then he will have a guard or a leather piece, either leather or gold. I mean, he's an emperor, so he might have gold on his wrist. It's to protect his wrists. So he has one over here too. And he's still got that delineated arm muscle, so we're putting that in there. And you can put a couple of wrinkles in his toga there. He has short hair, but again, it's a little wavy. If you've ever met people that are Italian descendants, they often have wavy hair. It's dark too. We're going to give him an ear on this side and an ear on this side. Remember, the eyes are in the middle of the head, and they're shaped like footballs with a little bit of air let out. Now, the thing to remember about now is in all the images of him, he looks worried. And he has a reason to be worried. Rome has been attacked so many times, and the aqueducts have been so destroyed that people are leaving Rome, and he is one of them. and I will give you a list of things that you need to put here, and you write them here or down here. The year is 331. Remember, in 313, he had that triumphal arch. He thought he was the bee's knees, and now, not so much. We still don't have facial hair. That's for barbarians. We'll see facial hair later, and I will explain. The nose is a parenthesis with two upside-down bowls. I don't have much of a point on this pencil, or I'd show you. And then his mouth is here. And you can make him smiling or unsmiling, and the collar of his shirt is here. Now, over here with our, well, we probably should give him some sandals. They're still wearing sandals. They just have more straps if it's colder. He's lucky right now. We have a little ice age coming in that he will miss, thank God. I'm sure he was happy not to turn in his sandals. Okay, so he's standing here, and here is his throne. I am going to give you images of Christian symbols. By now, Christianity has been around for about 300 years. And this is a Christian symbol right here. You don't have to use this one if you don't want to. I will give you a whole bunch of them. From Alpha to Omega is Christianity. That's what he's saying with this. And supposedly, he saw a P in the sky, the Greek letter P, with an X behind it. That was symbolic then of Christ. During one of those battles that he built his triumphal arch to brag about. So you can put that there. You can put some sort of vessel here with flames for the oil they burn to have like a lamp. You can put patterns inside each of these, so you might want to use a ruler there. But it's up to you. The whole page must be colored. Don't write it on there. Just remember, the whole page must be colored, and you must have the information. I will give it to you in Google Classroom. So I'm not going to spout it right now, except to tell you he's changing the whole empire. He's making everybody Christian. He's taking basilicas, which now means a church, but at that time it was a government building where you registered getting married, the birth of your children, a death, where you registered what your land was, all that kind of thing. Well, that becomes a church, and that's why we think of it as a church now, is this guy right here, Constantine. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a minute. How could that be that we're still doing it? Well, the Romans, they may be gone, their empire may have fallen, but they're still here. And they're here throughout our lives, which is why we study it in class. It's woven through the art, through the architecture, through our government, through how we do things. As the Roman Empire starts to collapse, we are going to see the church step into its place and start keeping documents. And then when we get to Art Survey Y, which starts in the end of January, you'll see that they find these old Roman documents. And that is why the Renaissance happened. Renaissance means rebirth, and that made it reborn. They found these Latin documents. And even though all these countries had split up, the church held these documents, and the church spoke Latin. And therefore, we have a connection to the past. Bye.